I'm going to talk about tonight. So, again, as you all know me, my name is Sophonie, and my background is, I grew up from Haiti. I lived there until the age of 16 years of age, and I came here, finished high school, went on to college. But from a very young age, from the beginning when I started having, that the girl stuff. Okay, this is a women's conference, so we're gonna talk about this. I'm very sensitive about this because our community, I feel that's an area that is neglected. Okay, that's an area that doesn't have a lot of, you know, um, ministry and addressing women who are battling with infertility or battling with irregular periods, PCOS, and ovary cancer or glands and all those fibroids. Okay, we have women that are dealing with these things, and it's really a big deal in our community. So I have a history with that because from a very young age, I always had irregular periods. So when I came here, seeing doctors in Haiti, they gave me all of those planning pills that I didn't want to be on. And my sister-in-law realized that, oh, these were like birth control pills that I was on. So we started seeing a doctor and, following treatments and all that stuff. I started really not liking going to the doctor as a young girl, as a young lady. It was always a lot for me to get up and say, oh, I have to go to the doctor because I already knew what the story was. I already knew what they were going to tell me. I already knew all the stuff that I've been dealing with from a very young age. So I started, getting to some time not, neglecting myself and not even going to the doctor, not even talking about it, not even mentioning it. Okay. And of course, I went on to get married. And of course, there was always a lot of pressure to have a child. But I was, not, I was at a place where it was like, okay, I have a baby, fine. I don't have a baby, fine. Okay. So a lot of you know my background also. I have, I was married the first time. Okay. And that's all in the past. So in that marriage, that was something that I really struggled with. That was something that I really struggled with, infertility and not being able to conceive. And also, I think people around me were really pressuring me to carry a child. Some people thought that that was something that I was not working on. That was something that I didn't want. Or I would have some elderly in our churches just addressing it in front of everyone, like, in a service, as you're leaving the church or as you're entering the church. And I became really bitter and I became really frustrated. I was getting frustrated with that. But I went into a time of finding myself. I went into a time of focusing on me, doing things for my health, doing things for me to feel better. It was not about anybody else or, pointing the finger at who was at fault or why such and such was not happening. It was about finding myself and stop pointing the finger. And I did that. I worked on myself. And of course, I went through a time of healing, a time of restoration, and God really dealt with me. It really dealt with me where I had to be honest with myself. I had to be honest with some of the things that I did wrong. I had to be honest with some of the things that I said wrong, that where I was not speaking life over myself or I was not speaking life over my situation. So after that time dealing with myself, I dealt with myself. And of course, God restored me. He's the one who restores. He's the one who heals. And I think that I can still say that PCOS might be something that I'm still dealing with, that I'm still struggling with at time as a woman. And I want all women out there to know that God cares for you. Okay? God cares for you because you've been bleeding for maybe a month. He cares for you because you're dealing with all these hormones and nobody knows the struggle you are dealing with and no one, addresses it, or you might feel neglected. I want to remind you that right now, especially in 2020, do something for yourself. Whatever you are doing, do it for yourself. It's not about pleasing yourself. It's not about being selfish. It's about, are you comfortable in your body? Do you feel good about yourself? If you don't like something about yourself, are you willing to change it? Or are you just willing to sit around and complain? I'm thankful and I'm grateful because God restored me and He healed me. And spiritual healing is also true and necessary. Okay, so when we are talking about healing, I don't want you guys to just see your body. This body is dying. This body is not eternal. But what about your soul? How is your soul? What is it that you are taking into your mind? How are you feeding yourself? Are you staying in the word? Are you staying planted? Are you staying grounded? I thank God because He blessed me. After I was restored, He blessed me with my husband, Ronald. And I want to shout out to my husband right now who supports me in everything that I do. I also shout out to my family right now who's listening. Thank you guys for all your support. Thank you guys for all your kindness. And I could not have done this without you, especially my mom in love, watching my baby, my miracle baby right now. So after 7 years of marriage, after all these years that I prayed, that I cried in front of God. At His feet, He heard my prayer. At His feet, He answered me and He blessed me with a child. My home was quiet, but now He made it a rejoiceful place because there's a baby laughing. There's a baby crying in the house at time, baby Janine, my miracle baby, after 7 years of prayer. I want all the women right now who are praying for a child to know that God has not forgotten you. He did it for me. He will do it for you. He cares for you. He cares for you. God cares for you. I love this verse so much. I believe it's Psalm 116, verse 1. I believe it's Psalm 119, verse 1. I love the Lord. He heard my cry, my supplications. I love the Lord. He heard my cry, my supplication. I love the Lord. He heard my cry, my supplications. Psalm 116, verse 1. It say, lay down all your burdens if you are weary, if you are weary. He cares for you. God truly cares for you. God truly cares for you. He sees you. He sees your situation. He knows your address. He knows where you are right now. He knows what you're thinking about. He knows how you're feeling, and He cares. This year, I'm sharing my story of the miracle baby that I have, that God was faithful enough to bless me with and make me a proud mom. I pray that next year you're able to join me on this platform and testify also that you had your miracle baby because He did it for me. He can do it for you. God is faithful and He truly cares. Pray without ceasing. Don't give up. He has not forgotten you. He has not forgotten you. He is not like men that He should say one thing and do another. He is not like men that He would lie. He will keep His promises, even though sometimes you may fail and you may feel discouraged because you cannot be as faithful as He is. But keep pushing. Keep pushing. My advice for you right now, for all the women who are battling with PCOS, irregular periods, fibroids, get up. Let's get active. Let's get moving. Let's do it for us. We're not doing it for anyone else. We're doing it for us. When we feel good, okay? When we look good, we feel good. It doesn't really matter what's on the surface. We also have to care about what's inside. but we also have to work on ourselves. I love you, ladies. I hope that my story encourages you tonight. And God bless you.